Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to make a roast beef Mauritian way, which means this is my mom's recipe. So I grew up with pieces of meat that we got at home that were not as fresh as those here that you can see. I will explain which kind of cut I got from the supermarket's butcher in a minute. But back home we used to have frozen beef, we still do, and it could be a bit of a tough beef, but cooked slowly on a long period would be basically melt. The beef would really become really tender. So my mom's recipe was one of those, and I remember being a teenager when mom would say we do a roast beef. It was the excitement of seeing how she would nurture. So basically she would defrost the beef on the eve, and then she would put the next day she would wake up early and start cooking, preparing the beef. So I'm going to explain to you what I've done. So here from the supermarket I got a piece of Silverside, 604 grams. Quite a nice look, fresh, quite a nice piece of beef and affordable, you know, £5.44, which back home that would be very, very dear, probably three times the price. Basically there was a bit of a lining there, so as you can see there, I've removed that, and this is fat. So what I'm going to do, this is good fat, so I'm going to sear the meat in a minute. So I'm going to just cross cut little thing in there so that you can see what I'm going to do. So that's my beef, and in here are all the ingredients that I'm going to use. So I've got some onions that I'm going to slice, a bulb of garlic, some bay leaves, some cloves, some mace, some paprika powder, some thyme, roast beef stock, and some Epice Roti, right? So these are going to be my spices. I'll show you how I put them together, but the onions are going to be sliced. The garlic is going to be by little pieces. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. And here, I could not get, back home they call it poitrine fumée, but I couldn't get poitrine fumée in England. Maybe somewhere else. If you do know, guys, let me know, because I couldn't find any. So basically it's like a salted bacony type of meat, little bit like that. Sometimes they also call it back home, I believe, viande salée. I got a piece here of pork belly. So what I'm going to do with it, let me show you how it is. Right, you see how it is here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this piece of fat, and I'm going to have little sliver of that, little slices, and you will see what I'm going to do in a minute. I showed you earlier all the ingredients I was going to use. So here I've got my sliced onions. I've put a bit of a mixture. There's three small ones, white ones, and then one red one. 6 cloves of garlic, but cut into little pieces like this. You will see why in a minute. I've got a bit of butter, and here is what I said, poitrine. Unfortunately it's not smoked poitrine. This back home would be probably salted, so I've cut these in little pieces like this. From that you will see what I'm going to do with it. And this, I think I've got some rock salt. I'm going to try and put some rock salt in there and try and salt it myself. And I'll try and read something, how do you salt this? And I would like to keep that for my next roast and see how, because when you put salt, when you preserve, this is a kind of preserving meat. If I do find a decent recipe, I will let you know, but I'm intending to keep that for salting, preserving. Right, let's go back to our roast beef. So now we've got all our bits ready. My first thing is I'm going to put little holes like this, and I'm going to put a little bit of this meat inside, like this, in there, right? Another one is going to be the clove of garlic in there. And to try and do that. Oops. Look. And two, cut. Right, and two, trois, cut. On top here, two, trois, cut. One, two. I think I am going to use the garlic then into the sauce. Right, this is going as well in there. This is to add flavor into the beef. Right. I know it takes a bit of time. I mean, to be honest with you, English people, in the English culture, they don't do that. They just put a piece. It's quite nice as well, but I wanted to reproduce my mum. I was dying for my mum's roast beef. Yeah, here in England, you don't put a lot of stuff towards they will put actually thyme, pepper, bay leaf, the traditional way, English, bit of paprika maybe, but they will leave the beef to do its own work because it's a fresh piece of beef. Right, I've done that. I don't know whether I make sense, guys, when saying that to you. The purpose of putting all this stuff in it like that, it will make the beef be very tender and it will allow the beef not to get too dry. So in total, I think we've used only 4 instead of 6 cloves of garlic because I think I've over-calculated there. And here as well, it's about 50 grams, a handful of little pieces of poitrine, okay, of pork. Right, now I'm going to wash my hands and we are going to start seasoning now. We're going to put some bay leaf is going to go in there in my Karai. It has to be a Karai, guys, because there is a bit of a deep flavor from I can't explain it, you've got to try it. All the meat juices will caramelize into that. You will see when the finished product. I'll come back to, coming back to my spices. So bay leaf, whole cloves, a bit of mace, paprika, Epice Roti, pepper, white pepper and thyme, and then later on some stock. I forgot, I'm going to add a little bit of masala wine as well in there. Right, in here now I'm going to take 3 cloves. Clove will go in there as well. 1 like that, 2 with 2, 3 and 4 and 4. Don't want to put too much in there, yeah? So this, we're going to take a teaspoon now of Epice Roti, half a teaspoon, sorry, no, that's a bit too much, because this is quite strong, just a tiny bit, not even half a quarter, so on that. So in this Epice Roti, I'm going to tell you what is in there. There is cardamom, nutmeg, clove of cloves, a little bit of cinnamon, fennel seeds basically, and that's it. Okay? Right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of mace, the same amount. Thyme, couple of bay leaves in there, and a little bit of pepper, white pepper. So a tiny bit, just a sprinkle of white pepper. And then paprika. Only paprika, half of a teaspoon. Okay? Put a little bit of oil in our pan here. Right? Tiny bit more. Right? And over here we are going to do the same on the, just to get these spices into the beef or around the beef. Oh, can you smell it, love? Smells absolutely gorgeous. So I've rubbed this around. Smells so nice. So we don't put any salt. Oh, it smells lovely. We don't put any salt in that. The reason why is salt will make the beef drier. We'll season the salt, will go into the beef stock later on. This is why I think English people don't mess about. This would have been already in the oven if it was a British family. Oh, I can't be bothered. Basically, quickness. Put that in a little tray in the oven, cover with foil with a stock of beef cube, probably a bit of thyme, rosemary, a bit of bay leaf probably, and that's it in the oven. But I'm going to do it the longer way. Right, come over here. So in here we let the oil to get quite hot, and then we'll sear the meat on each side just to get the flavor going. And then we'll add our onions, our bay leaf, and all the rest, and we'll turn and turn and turn until everything is gnarly, as some chef would say. And then I will add water and leave it to cook, and I will come every sort of 45 minutes to check on it. Right, okay, here we go. The baby goes into it. I'm going to put the onions around it. Right, onions around, bay leaf, bits of crackling around. Yes, this bone of the crackling, which is going to add more flavor for the stock. And I forgot to tell you guys, I am going to add a carrot and some celery, because when the stock, I'm going to add water, it will create a really nice stock, and this stock is going to be really nice and rich. So let's have a look. You can see, look at that. Ooh, yum. Well, I've turned it this side. Oh, it smells so nice. I'm turning it on each side. You see, look, got some colour. It's just to get the, oh, smells so nice. Can you see already, guys, the colour? Look. Nice. Have a look. Yes. So we'll turn it this side. Can you smell it, Daddy? Does it smell nice?
Yes, for me.
You are excited. If you could see his face, he's got a big smile on his face. Right, putting this side now. You can see, look, I like when Jenny Oliver, he presents it. Look at these there. Ooh, these are full of flavor. When you're going to put the water in it, oh, it's going to have, oh, this is what I like with that sort of dish, Karai. I don't know what it is. There is a bit of a science. Look at this. Look at that. All gnarly bits. Ooh. Yum, 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 yum. Getting excited. Mum, are you watching this? Am I doing it right, Mummy? Right, okay. Okay, can you get me? Can you get me? Can you see, guys, now every bit of the beef has been sealed and nicely. Now it's time to add the water. So I'm going to add a small glass. Right, scrape all the gnarly bits. You can see, guys, look, this is going to be a superb stock. In there, I'm going to finish adding the rest of this little bit of masala wine. I don't know how much, just a bit. A good lot. Good lot. What do you say? Glog. Right. Let's scrape all these little gnarly bits around. This is all flavor, guys, okay? Yum, 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 yum. Okay, so this, I'm going to add in there a bit of celery and a carrot. I think I'm going to put 2 of them and we'll put the thing down, the fire down. Slowly, we'll check in 45 minutes. I'll come back and check on it. And this is not just it, because that's going to reduce 1 celery stick cut into pieces and 1 carrot into little cubes in there. That's it. So we'll come and have a look at it in 45 minutes. Right, guys, it's been now an hour and a half, a bit more probably. I've topped the roast about 4 times, so I think this will be the last time until I switch it off, and I will have had the beef on for 2 hours. After that, I'm going to let it rest in this sauce. In fact, as soon as I switch it off, I'll show you. I'll put my stock in it, because that's it. I'm not going to cook it apart from serving the hot sauce on the beef tomorrow. I think that's about it. That's more or less the roast. But look at the color and oh, it's just, it smells amazing. There we are. So another 20 minutes and then we'll put this baby in it, let it melt, switch it off. But now what we're going to do is to marinate our pork fillet for tomorrow. So I'm doing a bit of beef and a bit of pork. But what I also want to do with whatever is left with this beef is what my mom used to do is the next day or 2 days later, the beef that was left, that the sauce, the gravy that was left, she would actually make a sort of ragu with it, with potatoes. It was super nice, and then we would eat that with rice and then chutney of cucumber and carrot grated. Heaven. Excited. Right, we're going to marinate the pork now for the roast, and this one is not going to be done on the stove, but it's going to be made, or it's going to cook in the oven. But it's nearly bedtime here. I'm going to put it overnight to marinate, so this is the recipe for it. So a bit of olive oil, about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, about 4, 5 teaspoons. There's nothing. Well, that 6 teaspoons of virgin olive oil.
On here, so it might show it better.
Right, then a good teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Again, I'm not going to put any salt in there, guys. Teaspoon of paprika, bit of white pepper, just a tiny bit. Some syrup, some sweet thing, you can use honey. I'm using fruit syrup here, just a drizzle. And then I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of sun-dried tomato paste. 1 and 2. And then teaspoon, a good teaspoon like that of ginger and crushed garlic. Whisk it together. And say no salt. So nice. Then this is the pork. Again, fresh British fillet. How many grams? 510 grams. So nice. Again, here we're going to just remove, give it a bit of a little clean. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to score this like this. And I'm going to put this bad boy in there. Right, actually, so that I don't miss anything, I'm going to put it in my box here. We go in to put all the marinade there. Yum. Okay. The reason why we marinate the meat is to tenderize it and to give it a lot more flavor, because meat on its own can be a bit, I'm not saying it's the sauce that you put with it actually. Right, that's that, and I'm going to put some, wash my hands. I'm also going to put some celery and carrot for the stock as well. And tomorrow morning I'm going to show you, it's going to go in the oven, cover with foil for slow cooking again for about 2 hours, well 1.5 hours, and then the last hour uncovered. So it should be nice. These are sage leaves, love them. Right, I'm going to put some in between the pork, and before I put the pork in the oven, I'm going to dilute this white wine stock pot in there, put it in there, and then with all the veg in the oven. So that's for tomorrow morning, guys. Okay, I'm going to just stir it, put it in the crevices like this. Right, there we go. Job done for tonight. Here it goes. I'm going to put the veg as well in there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. You could, if you want, guys, put an onion as well. I might do that. So there will be 2 kind of gravies tomorrow. Pork gravy. This is more, I would say, French Mediterranean, because you've got mustard, sun-dried tomatoes, olive oil, garlic. Spices are a little bit different, but right, an onion in there. Okay. That's it, guys. That's the pork for tomorrow morning. Kuchu, kuchu, kuchu. I'm going to put that on it so that I know this has to go with it. And then this is stuffing now. It's cooked for 2 hours and I'm going to add the
Put the light back on.
Oh, God. Oops. That's it. Ooh. Colour. Yum. Rich. Right, this beef now is going to rest and then tomorrow morning we'll have a look at it. I want to have a little taste of the very nice. We'll need some salt, I think. Well, I don't know. Might do, might not do. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. It's really rich. I'm so excited. See you tomorrow. Hi again, it's me. So it's the next day today. It's Sunday. I'm going to show you what we have prepared so far. So my in-laws are on their way to have lunch with us. And I wanted to show you all what we've done. You remember yesterday it was the beef that we've cooked. So this is the beef today. And look at this. Very nice. And you still got the little pieces of garlic in it.
Running out of battery.
It smells really gorgeous. And then over here, this is the yummy gravy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove, my hands are clean, these 2 bay leaves, this baby, it gave the sauce all its flavour, and I'm going to blitz that and then add a bit more water and thicken it. That's going to be our gravy. In here we've got roasted parsnips, roasted potatoes, bit of carrot, broccoli, cabbage and mashed potato. And over here, you remember our pork that we did? So this is our pork. It's already cooked. I'm letting it rest in the marinade, and I added the stock, as I say, I showed you that last night. And the same thing is going to happen with this. I'm going to add a bit more water, season the sauce, blitz it, that's the gravy. And then I'm going to slice the pork nicely, and I put the pieces of pork in the sauce to serve. In here I have got an apple crumble being cooked. This is going to be served with custard. I think this is our lunch sorted, and I hope we'll tell you later how it tastes. I think I'm going to wrap it there. Is that alright? Yeah. And we'll see you again soon, guys. And there are loads of little videos coming your way shortly. Alright, have a good Sunday, everybody. Take care. Bye.